feels like D2 Hustlers were in that first game, where the level of execution needs to be a little bit higher than that of your opponents. Not saying ForZoomer's lineup is necessarily low skill. There are definitely some crazy plays that can be made. We've already seen Flea himself do some pretty nuts stuff on the Snapfire, but it does feel like they have a lot more things assured for them in draft, at least going forward, where team, it's going to need to be some outstanding performance.
It just feels like ForZoomers could maybe not whiff entirely, but maybe miss the mark on one or two heroes and still keep things going. Whereas if your team, not so much. If the Chrono's not there, if Flea can't provide some lockdown, if Mike doesn't have the stomp in the right spot, then the whole thing kind of feels like it can fall apart so much more easily. Whereas ForZoomers can maybe scramble for something that's still going to be effective. But we'll have to wait and see. There's a difference between what we think on paper versus what actually goes down in the game itself. But team really going to have to be firing on all cylinders here to be able to make this one happen. But we saw in that previous series what they were capable of when they were executing at that sort of high level. So possibility will certainly be there.
Otherwise, he would have been under that direct kill threat, but you don't have Snake for a very long time in this top lane. That's where Brax, yeah,
taken down. He was able to jump in level 3. Actually, got level 3 afterwards. He was level 2 when he made the play, but we talked about this with the previous Dawnbreaker matches. You have that first point up in Starbreaker and your hammer, and you try, because a lot of the time you're able to catch people still off guard. They're not quite ready for that level of movement and damage at level 2. Honestly, the biggest role in determining who goes where, and you can see Gunnar is already moving towards it. Ryoya is able to blink in, but he blinks directly into the Avatos. Husky's able to get him with the mana burn into, well, not quite enough damage, but Ryoya has to back away, or maybe he doesn't flee. Coming in with the shackles, they're going to get the damage onto the Nyx assassin, and Husky will be taken down. Gunnar can't really do it a whole lot there. He had to wait for those cooldowns. So the fight goes down on the rune spot. Funniest part of all of that is that the illusion rune just spawned bot and an eye on it. So
an Envy.
Oh, big play onto Envy. That's not, well, I was gonna say not possible for a moment, but obviously we saw it. But that's big. Envy, that is the setback. Dying in the lane, okay, that's unfortunate, but whatever. But now the tower's gone. Your lane is gone. This is the point. You fall back into the jungle and you just sort of catch back up. But that is a rather sizable setback for a Medusa that's already the low man in terms of these core heroes. So ForZoomer's gonna have to put more emphasis on kind of defending that north side jungle in the future. But now, oh man, Serpent Ward's thrown down mid, so if the tier 1 goes down top and mid, that north side jungle is a dangerous place for them to operate in. But the glyph is going to be deployed. Moo's making his way over here as well, so they're going to try to hold it. But Brax and Ryoya haven't actually backed off yet. They are still looking to put that damage in. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough to get it. The wards are doing some work, but Moo is starting to clear through them.
Yeah, and I think Moo should be fine here. Onyx Mike is level 6, but there's really no opportunity for them. Top of the Dawnbreaker, and Moo actually has a interesting skill build as of right now. He's gone for the Starbreaker max as a opening for that. I think if you can get BKBs in a comfortable fashion on the team side, that's when ForZoomers need to be really scared of a lot of these engagements, because that's where the items that ForZoomers have decided to rush, even though they're slightly lower cost and they're a little bit more efficient, once they try to get their BKBs, they're going to be behind the 8-ball just a little bit more than
top. You see the nearly solo push from Flea. He's going in there with the Serpent Wards. Now gets the Hex onto Moo into the shackles. That's going to set up for the arena. And Moo, I don't think he realized there was that much coming his way, but Ryoya doesn't want to commit the Sonic Wave there. Gunnar, meanwhile, Gunnar just tossed Moo in. That might get a little bit dicey. Yeah. Unfortunate there. And now Gunnar stunned himself. Nice play from Brax with the spear. And that's actually a buyback. Moo's coming in with that Solar Guardian, and maybe they can turn this one around. Mike gets taken down first. Now Brax is in trouble. Ryoya still holding the Sonic Wave. He wanted to go for the most efficient play possible with that ult, but in holding, you miss your opportunity to get that secondary kill, and by the time you could then try again, they end up having the tables turned on them, and now Brax, he just lost his courier. That had the blink on it. Kills.
And I think that's where they're already eyeing up Sammy Boy in this bottom lane, but So is Moo going top to try and defend Eternal Envy a little bit more? So it's breaking up their play bottom, and okay, he broke the TP on Sammy Boy, but oh, okay.
What? This is just weird. Sammy is going to be able to turn Gunner away. Meanwhile, up in the north side, that fight's still going, although I say it's still going. It's kind of starting to break up, but Gunner TP'd up, goes for the kill on Flea. Not able to get it just yet. The shackles, it was a neat play, but obviously once you commit the shackles, you don't get to move. So Flea does get taken down, and all of that ends up resulting in technically what I was asking for in the first place. Gunner jumps forward and he's able to set up for a kill. It's just a very roundabout method of finding that pickoff.
Yeah, and it does work out. However, the biggest issue for Team right now is they need to figure out a way to turn all this off. He's still unable to synchronize with a lot of his heroes here. And with this DD rune, oh, this is actually a nice play here.
In for Roshan, do 4 Zoomers suspect anything? And if they do, can they even get into here? They've thrown down the Serpent Ward, so they are putting up a nice sort of wall of bodies and damage that 4 Zoomers would then have to break their way through. The scan, though, does come through, so 4 Zoomers now know what's up, but it might be too late, and it is too late. Roshan will go down, Sammy gets the Aegis, so the scan is there, the instincts are there, but the timing is a little bit wrong, and the positioning of their heroes really wasn't going to do them any favors. For durability, he's got 2 lives to work with, so see what they try to put together here. This could finally be what puts them over the top to get that tier 2 tower.
And they scan out Z-Freak. He's a tough kill with the Yules, but okay.
Not taking him down just yet. Here comes Moo jumping in, stunned down onto the Mars. Mike, meanwhile, getting locked down on the front line. Ryoya actually is finished off by Gunner, who jumps in with the Avatos combo, and Sammy, he hasn't thrown out the Chronosphere yet, but at this point his teammates are starting to, no. There's the Chrono. The problem is, Stone Gaze is a thing, so he's able to finish off Z-Freak. That's 1 kill, but now Gunner blinking in, going for the toss back, getting the Avalanche. Sammy's able to time walk off all that damage, but now he's still stuck in the fight itself. Moo chases him forward with the Starbreaker, but another time walk gets him onto the high ground. I do believe Sammy's going to be able to make it out Aegis intact, but that goes kind of poorly. I think maybe Team were expecting Sammy to pull the trigger on the Chrono a little bit earlier. Ryoya just jumps right in, anticipating backup, and the backup doesn't really arrive.
That's where we haven't seen a lot of the pluses coming out from Team yet, and they're bumbling into a pretty big fight.
Okay, that arena kind of works as they do trap out Husky, so they're able to get that first kill. The Stone Gaze was used as well by Envy, so that is a big old put on cooldown there. It's not a massive cooldown, but you now know Envy, he's going to be even less comfortable. You talked about the fact that Sammy Boy, with the Aegis, could maybe do a little bit more, play a little bit less afraid. Now
fight. I'm just worried that right now Team aren't forcing their opponents to move the way that they actually want to play. It does feel like Team are reacting to 4 Zoomers who are completely okay with farming, and as soon as they want to get aggressive, they'll do moves like this. Husky, he's got to be a little bit careful once he veers towards the high ground, but, well...
Gale still comes through, Avatos from Gunner to follow it up, but they don't get the kill in time, and now, okay, there's your Chronosphere, there's your arena, but Moo... Actually, there we go. Moo will come in now on the back end. They were able to take Husky down, but look at the Faceless Void. He's stunned up, silenced as well. He's able to time walk away, though, while Gunner actually gets locked down. Ryoya provides the damage. Flea and Mike are there for the continuous contain, and I mean, 4 Zoomers, they are just running away. Envy's got to try and get himself out of here, and Z-Freak is, well, actually looking to maybe make a turnaround, as Envy will pop the ult, trying to get the damage out. Husky's back in here, too, so... maybe they can do something with the Nyx Assassin buying back, and Sammy, I don't really know what he does. The Chronosphere has already been deployed, but they do get a little bit more lockdown onto the Nyx Assassin, so they will lock that in place. Husky falls, Z-Freak was picked off by Ryoya, and okay, that's going to lead them into the Roche Pit, so they lose 2, but I mean, look at that, 4 kills, actually 5 kills considering the Nyx Assassin died twice in that engagement, and Roshan is going to easily go their way, so this is the fight that Team needed, and I understand that you can only really take some of those engagements when the Chrono and the arena are sort of online, but you have to be on the lookout for those. Something you mentioned they were sort of lacking in. If you keep this push going, someone on Four Zoomers has to come to defend the high ground.
Yeah, and the first time it might be Glyph. It has to be Envy. He's the only one that can efficiently hit these wards, but yeah, they have to Glyph to keep this tier 3 tower alive. It's a nice stomp from Mike to try and delay, and they even Glyph because they want this tower. They want this top lane to be another easy smoke position for them if they want to go for plays like that, but this Aegis changes everything in the game. It makes it so much more difficult for them to actually find these engagements and fights. And talking about forcing Glyph, now you get this mid tower more or less for free. I don't think Four Zoomers are going to risk the engagement. And okay, Brax and Gunnar are going to find each other, but okay.
Spear does connect. Okay, Fleet blinks in. They got the Hex. The Shackles will follow. The TPs are coming through. Sammy wants it, pushing forward. And they've got it. Gunnar is going to get taken down. That felt like it shouldn't have happened, but just kind of messing around with the
damage coming from the Queen of Pain. Now that you have the AC, you actually are a physical damage hitter, and this is just going to be a Rax. There's nothing they can do about this. Of course, this isn't the most obnoxious Rax that they could possibly take, but a Rax is still a Rax, and one that will give them more space to work with on the map. And without Glyph available, again, you need all hands on deck whenever you want to show on this high ground, and this is respect that Four Zoomers are not giving their opponents right now. This push is fast.
They threw down the Serpent Wards too. Tier 3's gone. They need some sort of response here. That feels very strange for Four Zoomers. Again, as you said, just not sort of showing that respect as, oh, Faceless gonna get hit up. The silence comes through. They stun him up as well, so that is gonna be his first life taken down. That's a nice play, but they've already lost the tier 3 and the ranged Rax, and Sammy actually has no BKB. The Chronosphere is not gonna be deployed in time. They've got him. Okay. That is what they absolutely needed there. Gunnar, yeah, gonna hit him with the tip as well. But to be honest, if you're team, that play is unfortunate, but look at what they get. If they could find this fight, Moo would be a great target. They hit him up with the Hex, dropping down those Serpent Wards, but well, they forced the Dawnbreaker back to the base. Ryoya, though, won't let him go, blinking forward for the Scream and the kill. As Moo will fall, and now Husky, he's in a bad spot here. Tried to Eul's himself, hoping to create space for something, but not going to be able to make it happen. So team will stabilize. They get both of those kills, and they're back into the middle lane, looking to finish off this melee Rax that they weren't able to get the last time around with the sort of toss play from Gunnar, which he's looking for again, or actually just tried to deny his own Rax. That's always interesting. Doesn't really do much, but tried. Ryoya is able to get it though, and there will be no initiation there. So Four Zoomers, 2 heroes down and 2 lanes of Rax behind their opponents. But as long as Envy continues to farm, they will have hope. They will have sort of a roadmap to success, but can't afford to drop too many more fights.
More or less infinitely, where team are the ones that could end this very abruptly, but yeah, bottom.
Sammy's still stunned.
Oh.
And Z-Freak with the shard. That is big. The Scatter Blast getting the stun in first, then the Cookie follows it up. And Sammy is taken down, and he doesn't have buyback right now, so his team has to be so incredibly careful. They've just got to sit back and wait. They really don't want to take a fight without the Faceless Void and the Chrono to back him up.
And if it respawns in 25 seconds, if Roche respawns during that time frame, they can do nothing about it on the Four Zoomer side. And we already spoke in Sammy Boyd's game earlier today. Once you get Aegis versus Void, the hero breaks. It is the one guaranteed thing that you can play around. I don't know how they kill Medusa twice. Envy is so farmed at this stage of the game. He's able to finish off all the items he needed to. And with Sammy Boy's buildup, he went for the Silver Edge over the MKB. The MKB would have been what he needed versus the Dawnbreaker ulti, but as of right now, there's a Butterfly that you're also playing against in the hands of the Medusa. There's actually no way for Sammy Boy to kill this hero, at least until this MKB gets finished, which is still 5,000 gold away.
Zoomers recognizing the opening that they've been presented with. Envy is just sort of acting as the one-man battering ram, looking for that tier 3 to be able to bring it down. And now, if you're Four Zoomers, yeah, they're not going to get greedy. Roshan, 90 seconds away still, but
that's where I also feel like the stalemate needs to come from team. If this Elder Titan is not always posted near that Roche pit, they are just going to be able to take it, especially scouting it right now. See Brax.
Where the stunned Brax is going to get stunned up, and he is just blown up right away. Gunnar gets the kill, and now they know
buy.
Roshan has respawned, as you mentioned. They see that, and they could look to force it, but here's Sammy.
Look at the ward. They saw him walking forward.
Able to sidestep. The chrono does still come through. Ryoya, though, making his move, but there's going to be that Solar Guardian. It's not preventing anything. Damn. Envy will still fall. And there's going to be the buybacks. Envy back in. Husky coming back in as well. Gunnar looking to jump away, hoping to regen some HP before the next round of fighting. That means, however, that they leave Z-Freak right in the middle of it as he gets picked off. That's going to be the gem changing hands, but Envy, he is still trying to push his way forward. But now, if he dies a second time, it would be catastrophic for 4 Zoomers. They have to protect him at all costs, but now a little bit of an early jump in from the pain, and Ryoya's dead. Goes in just before Sammy was ready to help him, and well, he's now dead for 90. No buyback, and Sammy has to back away. That means control of the pit goes back into 4 Zoomers' hands.
Really, did the cardinal sin? You cast Shadow Dagger on the Nyx Assassin. It was the easiest carapace of Husky's life, and you had Satanic. That turn was definitely there from the Queen of Pain. And this is a huge Roche to give over. Aghanim Scepter is now going to be able to be gifted to Envy if you want, or Z-Freak if you want to go for the Gobble Up instead. I feel like Sammy Boy is going to want to play here, though, especially with them having the Coliseum, but this is still a huge risk right now. If they throw these heroes away and they aren't able to get those returns, it's just a massive throw at this stage of the game.
Where Sammy does, he's gonna have to do it without Chrono, but maybe a BKB into a Time Walk can do it. He's gonna push his way forward. Can he get it in time? Roshan is dropping. Roshan goes down. Aegis goes to Envy, though, and Sammy, he's got to run. He's able to get himself out at least, but couldn't steal much of anything. I believe Brax made an attempt at it too, but he didn't get much either. Envy was able to grab both the Aegis and the cheese. He got the Aghanim's Blessing on top of it. And now Team trying to back away. Sammy, though, 30 seconds still for the chrono. So really, I don't think they can afford to protect their teammate here. They just have to let Mike die. And there we go. He will be taken down. So Mike will fall. He is one of the few heroes remaining, though, on Team side who does have his buyback available, but not seeing 4 Zoomers immediately.
So these fights are getting really short if they're unable to actually finish each other off. That waiting game, but now Envy, they know they don't have Glyph. Now Team aren't respecting their opponents. Oh no, this is just going to be a bunch of free racks. They don't have TP on Envy or Mars, or rather on Sammy Boy or Mars for 2 seconds here, and they're coming back to 3 racks already gone.
I don't understand that. I mean, we all saw the Glyph just get used a while ago, and there's no way 4 Zoomers forgot something like that, so... Oh man, a bit of a misplay from Team. They'll lose 2 lanes of racks. They're going to try for the spear play onto the Medusa, but you're going into her with 2 lives, so even with that spear, now they're showing a lot of respect to Gunnar, making sure that the Tiny gets pushed away as Envy gonna get hit up again, but this time he has the ult at the ready, so Sammy has to go on a different target. He's looking for Husky, but Husky able to throw himself up in the air with the Yule Scepter, so Sammy really just can't get much of anything right now. They're at least gonna find Z-Freak, but you're starting to spread a little too thin. Well, back in the lane itself, Envy is getting jumped in on, but again, he has the Aegis and he has the backup. Moo is there to try and help out, but now the Chrono's deployed. Spike Carapace, though, stuns him up momentarily, but it's not going to be enough to matter. Moo with ball, Husky dead as well. They're going to turn their attention now onto Envy. Gunnar, though, picks off the backline in its entirety. Flea and Mike both taken down, but at this point, they got what they wanted on the other side. Envy has fallen. They know Gunner's sticking around to try and help out his buddy. So Ryoya's just kind of playing safety right now, making sure that if Gunnar does try to jump in, he'd get spotted, but he actually does go in. Abatos will be there. Spear pushing both Envy and Gunnar back, getting them out of position. The cheese has to be popped, but they're still fighting their way through this, and Sammy is actually the one who goes down. Sammy dies, buys back, TPing his way to the front lines, but at this point, Mike, starting to see 4 Zoomers pulling back. Mike's able to get out. No, he's not. Gunnar says, get back here. Able to find the kill, but that puts him in the line of fire. That was not worth the jump back. He's bashed up and taken down, and the buyback from Sammy really paying off there. And now Brax is actually keeping tabs on Envy. He has no HP, though, so he has to make sure he doesn't get hit. He's trying to keep tabs, trying to see if they can go in for it. There's the spear rate to still get 5 came out from Gunner, but he might not get here in time. Envy dangerously low on mana. The HP is starting to fall as well, but Gunner, he survived. He's looking for it, though. Sammy with the BKB still active for about a second or two.
Tiny.
10 seconds. Wait, though, but they go in a little bit too early. Gunner, he's going to push forward. Husky is there for the stun. They've locked down Ryoya. They take him down, but there's the buyback. The Queen of Pain had hers online. Meanwhile, Flea able to get down the shackles. So Z-Freak will fall, but Flea had to basically trade himself out. But at this point, this is exactly what you want for Team. You have burned through way too many of the resources. There's double wards down, and yeah, I don't think they can hold this. Gunner and Husky have to pull off a miracle with Moo being picked off, and there's just no miracle. GG called. Chrono thrown out at the very end, and Team, they see their opportunity, they strike, and they win. For Zoomers,